Begin by letting the body sway gently left to right, keeping the feet about shoulder width apart, just like you're swinging a bat back and forth, letting the momentum of your body carry your relaxed arms around your body, allowing your arms to make contact and gently massaging your low back, stomach, and sides. The more you can relax your torso, and the more you can release any tension in the spine, waking up the back, releasing tension from the shoulders, and allowing your internal organs like your kidneys and stomach to get a gentle massage from your arms. And you can speed this up or slow it down depending on what feels good for your body. The main thing is to keep the body relatively relaxed and letting momentum do the work for you. You can increase the pressure with which you make contact with your body using your arms, or you can just have a gentle sway back and forth depending on what feels good for your back, for your kidneys, for your stomach. And slowly coming back to center. And now bringing the arms over your shoulders to the traps and upper back area. Again, letting the hands make contact, almost like a gentle slapping motion, stimulating blood flow, waking up the back, and also bringing attention to any areas of tension that you might feel or notice as you make contact with your body. Again, using the knees and the hips to create momentum back and forth as you sway. You can modify your arm position if this isn't comfortable. You can make contact with your shoulders, or your ribs, or your low back again. Whatever feels good for you. The main idea is to sway and release tension. And the added bonus of making contact with your relaxed arms gives your body a gentle massage. And the real benefit of this exercise comes from increased repetition, so being patient with the exercise, maybe doing it for 5-10 minutes some days, depending on what feels good for you. Remembering to breathe and allowing the body to remain relatively relaxed. Almost there. And slowly coming back to center. Shake out any of that tension that you felt or noticed during the exercise. And we'll start with waking up the neck, conditioning the cervical vertebrae, the muscles around the neck. Half circles, moving your neck and head from shoulder to shoulder, ear to ear, coming shoulder to shoulder. And slow it down or speed it up depending on what feels good for your body. And just like any other stretch or engagement of joints and muscles, just engaging the area to the point where you feel some pleasant release or pleasant engagement. And making sure to stop shy of any sharpness or strain that you might be noticing. Any tension that comes up can get released through patience and repetition. You don't have to overdo it or push yourself too hard to try and reach a goal right away. The main thing is to go through a smooth and relaxing process with any tension you find. So again, half circles now in the front, ear to shoulder, and just moving in a way that feels good for your body. If these half circles feel a bit too intense, you can just stay with looking up and down or bringing one ear to a shoulder and then alternating to the other ear to the shoulder. Or maybe full circles feels best for you. Just taking the time to experiment and see what feels good for your neck. Just a few more, and shaking it out. Next, placing your body into a star position and bringing your opposite hand to your opposite foot. So you're going to bend over slightly, keep your legs straight, keep your arms straight, and you're really rotating from your core. So your legs stay relatively where they are. All of the movement comes from the rotation of your central column. You're going to look up at your extended upward facing arm and rotate back and forth. This is excellent for engaging your lats, your back, your core in general. It both conditions, stretches, and opens your torso, as well as your shoulders, even your forearms and hands, depending on how you're doing the exercise. There's a slight engagement of the legs as well, so you're stretching and opening the back of the legs at the same time. An excellent exercise for your whole body and an excellent way to condition your spine. Remembering to breathe, and as always, just keeping the body relatively relaxed. We'll slow it down a bit, so now really engaging the muscles and tendons of the core, noticing that engagement, the effect it has on your torso, on your arms, shoulders, legs, and chest. Good, and releasing, coming into a pulsed squat, so coming down and pulsing a little bit, and then grasping onto your opposite calf with your opposite hand, bracing using your upper arm against your opposite thigh, and bringing the other arm up, looking up towards your hand, towards the sky or ceiling. So this bracing allows you to twist. So this is a great way to deepen the warm-up of the spine, to open the sides of the body, open the chest and shoulder, and the deep squat is great for your legs. You also have the added benefit of opening up your hips in this exercise. Good, a few more, almost there. Really exploring your rotation. And coming back up. Shaking out any tension that may have come up from the exercises so far. And then engaging in a spinal twist, back and forth, keeping the legs relatively straight where they are, just allowing your torso to spin left and right, and moving at a pace that feels good for your back. It doesn't have to be this fast, it can be faster if that's what you prefer, but just looking for the appropriate pace for your body. Maybe slow engagement feels best. Releasing. Next, one of my favorite exercises, reaching out with the arms to help open the scapula, open the shoulders, open the hands and forearms. So you're reaching out as far as you can without moving the body, just using the arm, chest, shoulder, torso, reaching back as far as you can, making a large arc with your arm. Reach, 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 actively engaging your tissues, actively opening up the hands, the forearms especially, and shaking out between these rotations just to release any tension that comes up. This is great for hands that spend a lot of time typing on keyboards or arms that stay relatively bent and immobile during the day. This is an excellent way to open up the chest, open up the scapula, open up the shoulders and arms. Next, reaching is reaching your hand up, making fists as if you're grabbing things that are just out of reach, and really reaching all the way from your foot up through your core, through your shoulder, out through your fingertips. And these are just gentle fists as you grab. The main thing is the reach and just organically exploring your range of motion. So you can go up, down, to the sides, whatever feels good. Just seeing what helps to open up your scapula, helps to open up your back. Good. Shaking it out and going through another spinal twist. This time, bringing one arm back, palm facing the ceiling or sky, twisting as if swinging a bat, and the opposite arm chambers across the chest. You're looking over your back shoulder, looking at that palm facing up, extended arm, and just twisting back and forth, keeping the body relatively relaxed. It's an excellent exercise for opening the shoulders and chest as well as the back, and for releasing tension in the hips, just improving mobility overall in the body. It also gets the body working as one unit, so you're improving your kinetic chains from your feet up through your hands, and shaking out that tension. And next, moving into hip circles. And like always, you can move at the pace that feels best for you. So maybe it's a bit slower, really exploring your hips, exploring the range of motion, seeing where that tension might be. Or perhaps it's a bit faster, more of a conditioning exercise for improving the flexibility and overall strength of your hips. So take your time just exploring this movement clockwise and counterclockwise, maybe large ovals or small ovals, and just moving at a pace that feels good for your body. Next, moving into knee circles. Just gently moving the knees in a circular motion, clockwise and counterclockwise. And then moving into a pulsing squat and leaping into the air. If jumping off the ground is a bit too much for your body, then just coming from a pulsing squat or gentle squat into a standing position, back and forth. The idea is to build strength in the legs, and this plyometric exercise is great for the joints, strengthening our knees, ankles, and hips. Shaking out any tension. And then moving to wrist conditioning. So placing the hands interlaced, moving in a figure 8, shaking them out, and same motion for the ankles, circular motions, taking the heel off the ground, just the ball of the foot as a contact point. Moving clockwise and counterclockwise. The ankles are often neglected, especially with conditioning and flexibility work, but they support our whole body, so they're excellent to focus on. Next, placing the hand on the hip for support, opening up the side of the body, palm facing the sky or ceiling, looking up, reaching all the way from your foot through your side, up through your arms, out through your palm or fingertips, and using that hand on your hip for support. Remembering to breathe deeply, and even though this is an intense stretch for the body, working on keeping the body relatively relaxed during this exercise. And gently pulse at the top of the stretch if that feels good. Otherwise, just gently stretching back and forth at the intensity and rate that feels good for your body. And shaking out that tension from the legs, from the low back, from the core of the body. Next is one of my personal favorites. It's an excellent balancing exercise, but it conditions the legs, the core, the arms a little bit even. And it's excellent for developing total body awareness. So even though this exercise may look more playful or silly even, it's great for improving body awareness when we walk or how we hold our body during the day. The main goal is lifting the leg up and exploring movement without dropping that leg down. It's an excellent way to build leg strength and core strength, an excellent conditioning exercise that requires no equipment. And it's also a great way to engage the glutes, which are often left neglected as we sit most of the day, or even when we exercise, we may not be firing them properly. So by bringing the leg back away from the body and leaning forward slightly, we're actually engaging the glutes. So it's an excellent movement to include in this exploration of balancing. I'm doing a little bit of a hip rotation back and forth in between each leg. And bringing the opposite leg up now, just like the other side. Take a moment to find your balance, and then exploring your balance by moving your leg in different positions, different places. Exploring more static holds or stationary positions, and then maybe including some more dynamic movements of the leg up and down, forward and back, circular motions, and so on. And remembering to breathe. If you drop your leg at any time, that's totally fine. Just take a moment, recenter yourself, and lift that leg back up and continue the exercise. You can have your knee bent, legs straight, using the hands for support by helping to counterbalance your body. Almost there. And coming back down. Shake out that tension. Release any tension you find in your body. A few hip rotations left and right, clockwise, counterclockwise. Maybe a few rotations of the core just to release any tension from that balancing exercise. Just giving the body time to fully relax in between repetitions. And then taking a moment to recenter yourself. And let's move through one more rotation through this exercise. So lifting the right leg this time, exploring the range of motion of your leg. Again, it can be straight or bent. Bringing the leg back is an excellent way to engage our glutes. And you're working the leg, the hips, the core, even the shoulders and arms as they counterbalance. And again, you can explore more static or dynamic poses or movements. This is such an excellent exercise. If you just take one exercise away from these videos, I would highly recommend this one. And if you fall down, just placing your foot back down for support and recenter yourself and then come back into that balancing position. And if you drop down and it's the end of the exercise, you can just shake it out and get ready for the opposite side. So a few hip rotations. Take a deep breath, center yourself, and then opposite leg now. Left leg up, exploring your range of motion. And even as it sweeps, as that leg sweeps forward and back, still keeping it off the ground. Really focusing on anchoring and rooting through that, in this case, the right leg, down into the earth. Really engaging your core to counterbalance you, to allow you to move freely. Remembering to breathe deeply. Your breath can help you to center yourself. It can help you to remain grounded and rooted into the earth, assisting with your balance. And the main thing is to have fun. Enjoy the exercise. Remembering how to play and develop your balance, core strength, and overall conditioning. Almost there. Back down, really taking the time to shake out that tension. A few more hip rotations. And then pressing forward, pressing the hips back, left and right. Back and forth and exploring the hips, helping to release any tension you find. Moving back to hip rotations, clockwise and counterclockwise at the rate and intensity that feels good for your body. And then moving into one of my favorite exercises from Chinese martial arts. This is an excellent way to condition the back, but more specifically, it actually massages the kidneys, helps to open the shoulders and chest, and strengthens the core and body as a whole. So you can deepen that squat position a bit more if you like, otherwise just keeping the knees slightly bent. Palms are up as if holding dinner plates. Chest is open, and the twist comes from the core and a little bit from the hips. You're actively twisting, actively stretching at the top of that movement. Inhaling to the left, exhaling center, inhale to the right and twist, exhaling center. The breathing's a little bit different than some postures you might experience in yoga, but it's an excellent way to condition the body. Shaking out and moving through some arm circles, helping to bring blood back to the hands. Bring the feet closer together now, and actually as you move, let the momentum bend the knees as your arms move forward, gathering blood in the arms, helping to wake up and release tension in the shoulders. Again, moving at the pace that feels good for you. So if this speed is too much, then just slow it down. Just exploring how to move with momentum, how to use the hip and knee to catch that momentum and feed it back into the arm circles. Open and closing the chest, bringing the scapula together, crisscrossing the arms, opposite arm on top each time. And then static isometric hold, opening the chest, bringing the palms back as far as you can, lifting the chest up, and release. Again, reaching as far back as you can, scapula together, and release. Just taking a few moments to shake it out, releasing the tension from the body. Sweeping it away. Taking a deep breath. That's our class.